Hi, it's Dax Murphy. Today I just want to talk to you about how you can make your team 31% more productive just by stopping doing a couple of things. In a study of over 50,000 people, research from the University of California found that motivated employees were 31% more productive, had 37% higher performance, and were 3 times more creative than their demotivated counterparts. They were also 87% less likely to quit their job. You add this to other studies, so there's a Gallup study that demonstrates that 70% of an employee's motivation is directly influenced by their manager, which would mean that you as a manager and a leader has to then take accountability for your team's motivation. You can't say that people should just be motivated to do the job. You've got to take accountability for it, as you as a manager directly impact 70% of people's motivation. And if you can take accountability and get the motivation right, then the facts are your team are going to be more productive, they're going to be more creative, they're going to be less likely to leave, and they're going to deliver you better results. So that's the facts. The tricky bit, and it's a complex thing, and of course it's a complex thing, because if it wasn't complex, then everybody would easily have a motivated team. I think the best place to start is to eliminate the things from leadership that demotivate other people. And just by removing these elements from your management, if you have them in your management, you spot them now, if you remove them from your leadership style, then you will improve overall motivation. So number one, obvious, but some people do it still, don't micromanage. It's obvious to say, but it's uncommon in practice, and here's why. There's a very high chance that the reason you got promoted into your leadership role you now have is because you were really good at a job that was very similar to the people that are under you now, who work for you, are doing. So that means that it's very likely that you're going to be better at the job your team do than they are. So when you're in that position, it's really easy and tempting to give your team all the answers. It's easy to tell them exactly what to do, because that's the type of stuff that you would do if you were doing their job, and you'd be really good at that job, so you have the answers. But it's not the right thing to do. If you micromanage, there's only 3 things that are going to happen, no matter what, no matter how good your advice is, there's only 3 things that are going to happen. They'll either comply to the absolute minimum of what you say with the minimum effort they can get away with. They will rebel and become destructive, or they will leave. None of those 3 things that I've just said are definitions of a high-performing team. And what I'm saying there in those 3 things is that actually that's been proven time and time again in regards to social science experiments. So just don't micromanage. Number 2, don't overwork your team. Managers, you, me, have hard jobs. We coordinate the work of our teams, align this work with company goals. We serve as a primary source of professional development for our teams. We try and deliver results. We've got loads of other tasks. We've got loads of other admin. Even great managers are not fully aware how their work habits, though, can impact the people that their teams and the people that they supervise. The latest research shows that being able to quantify these habits can have a significant and undesirable effect on your team. So what I mean by this is, because we're so busy as managers, we could end up working after hours. And this sends the signal to our teams that when I'm working, you need to be too. And there's a significant and consistent correlation between the amount of time managers send email and organise meetings after hours, so thinking about late nights, weekends, etc., and the amount of time the direct reports do the same. So there's one study that's been done where every hour that a manager spent working after hours translates to 20 minutes of additional report working for your team after hours. So the numbers do vary from each study, but the correlations are true throughout. Intentionally or not, if you work late nights, you are signalling an expectation of similar behaviour to your teams. And they will then respond in time by working out of hours too. Now, as a manager, eating into your personal your team's personal time is not a good thing when dealing with their motivation levels. So you're going to have to really think about when you send those emails. You can work late nights, but don't send those emails out of hours. Number 3, don't try and be a friend. I think it's really one that's really common, that happens all the time. It's an easy trap to fall into. You want to motivate your team, you want to engage your team, and you mistake that idea of motivation is about being their friend, about being nice. Being nice is nice. It doesn't motivate. And don't get me wrong, and I don't want to lead anybody down the wrong track here. Leaders and managers should be friendly with their teams, but there is a line, and they shouldn't be their friends. The overall role of a friend is different from the role of a leader. Motivation, you see, comes from providing vision, purpose, plan, framework, all those things. If you want to motivate your team, focus on those things, not hoping that they just like you enough as a person to suddenly want to work harder for you. So that's it. Those are the ideas. A motivated team has big benefits. And as a leader, you've got 70% of your team's motivation is influenced by the behaviors that you do. So those 3 things that I just said in regards to what you should stop, they can dramatically improve the motivation levels of your team. So don't do anything extra. Just do some things less. And you can have a more productive, creative, committed, engaged, and people that are going to stay with you forever team. Hey, it's Dax. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please share it with somebody you feel like it could resonate with. And if you're ready to take your leadership to a whole new level, then make sure you grab my book, The Enlightened Leader, Leadership for an Uncertain World. It's available on Amazon right now, and when you order your copy, you'll really be supporting my channel and the message that I'm trying to give. You'll also be getting a book that will reveal to you how the current consensus on leadership is not going to be able to survive in the world we now live in. Leadership needs to evolve, and by changing the way we perceive it, and this book does exactly that, and then shares the fundamental building blocks of how leadership can thrive in this new world environment. It's called The Enlightened Leader, New Leadership for Our Uncertain World. It's available on Amazon right now. The link is below, so order your copy now.